Greetings and welcome to the SRAX Webcast. It is now my pleasure to introduce your host, Mr. Chris Miglino, CEO. Thank you, Mr. Miglino. You may begin.
Thank you very much. This is Chris Miglino with SRAX. I'm the founder and CEO of SRAX. We appreciate you joining us today to hear a little bit more about what we're doing. At SRAX, we're in the business of aggregating unique data sets and figuring out how to monetize those unique data sets. And we've become experts at finding value in data across a variety of different verticals. So first we have our safe harbor. So we're going to be talking about some things that might be forward-looking statements here. So you can refer to the safe harbor statement in the presentation. Inside of SRAX, we have a few different ways that we build data. So the first thing that we do is we have our own unique data sets, and we also have data from third-party providers. We've been really good at verticalizing that information. So as you can see here, we've done it inside the shopper, investor, what we call our core, which is anything that falls outside of any of our verticals, and then also the luxury vertical. What we do is we take data and information and then figure out the best way that marketers can utilize that information in order to market to their core audience. And we're really good at doing that. And around a couple of years ago, we said, look, if we're going to be in the business of aggregating data around specific audiences, we need to have some form of value that we're bringing that the walled gardens, meaning the Facebooks, the Googles, the Snapchats, and the LinkedIns, people that are owning and controlling the data, are that we need something that is going to enable us to control that information. So we've invented and created a couple of different products that help us identify data and create value out of that unique data. So I'm going to walk you through a couple of those different products and what they do and how we generate value off of them. The first product we have is a product called BigToken. Now, over the past few years, there's been a significant amount of conversation about the ownership of consumer data. And in fact, in the United States, we've passed a number of laws that are relating to the ownership of consumer data and how companies can utilize consumer data. So what we're doing is we created a platform that allows consumers to own, monetize, and control their own consumer data. So you as a consumer have the ability to come into a platform, put all of your relevant data in, and as marketers try to access your information, we will help you sell that information into the marketplace and share the revenue with you that is gathered from the sale of that data. The next, and we launched this at the beginning of 2018, and we took it to market at the beginning of 2019, and it's, we saw that there's just such a big market out there for this type of consumer data. It's this year anticipated to be somewhere in the $200 billion range, growing up to $247 billion by 2022. Inside of BigToken, we've been able to attract more than 16.5 million users to the platform. So when we launched the platform, we put it out there, didn't spend any money on marketing, and it just went completely viral. And we had a lot of registered users that just came into the platform. And the way it works is you don't only get paid for your own data, but you get paid for the data of anybody that you bring into the platform as well. So if you are helping bring additional people into the platform, you're generating revenue off of those people. So our core platform has grown through a viral nature, but the viral nature has been from the audience that we've created, so a community of big token users. And this has been in the United States and throughout the rest of the world. The way it works is consumers come into the platform and they're able to do a variety of different things. They're able to answer questions, different research surveys, and brands ask consumers to take activities. So go buy this product at a store or take this particular type of activity. And then we've added this year the ability for people to come into the platform and or brands to come into the platform, create information about their users or ask questions of our audience and say, okay, I want to find information about people that are willing to buy breakfast cereals. And then I want to know more information about these people that are buying breakfast cereals. What do they look like? How do they engage? What are the things that they do? So we're able to help facilitate that information. And then we can provide back to the marketer additional information above and beyond what they knew about their consumer, and then we can use that data to help them further market to that consumer. So we've had a lot of success with that. We're bringing some new offerings into the platform this year that are all being driven by our customers. We have we started monetizing this in Q3, and it's continuing into this year. And obviously, this year's been unique. But we've still attracted some very large advertisers. Procter & Gamble, Kraft, Sunmaid, Heinz, Oscar Mayer have all been initial users of the platform. And we launched a product over the in conjunction with COVID that is called Lightning Insights. So brands can ask questions to users in the platform in the United States or different countries about what are their shopping habits like? How is the situation that we're in now changing the way that you purchase products? What do you plan on doing for Easter? Are you changing your plans for your family holidays? Is anything that's going on here changing the way that you shop, so that we can give true insights, and within 24 hours we can feed that data back to the marketer, and then the marketer can adjust their marketing messages in accordance with those messages that have happened. So Big Token is really something that is driving a lot of interest in the market. Brands want a product that is consumer safe, meaning that they know where that data is coming from, because they don't want to be buying data from a provider that doesn't have the appropriate access to that information. So it's a tool to future-proof the advertising that a big brand is doing and gives them more insight, more value in their audience. And we've learned this over the years of marketing with big brands and in different verticals. One of the big verticals that we focused on was a healthcare vertical that we had, and we sold that vertical around a year ago, and we still own around 30% of that business. So we were, at the time, the business was doing around $15 million a year in revenue and around $5 million a year in EBITDA when we sold the business, and it's been continuing to do well, and we continue to own 30% of that business as it's out there. So while we got money for it up front, we still have the opportunity to monetize the other 30% of a holding company that owns a big part of the business, and our piece of that entity accumulates a 8% interest per year that's compounded quarterly. So, and we sit in a preferred position with a few other investors in the platform. So if this business monetizes in the future for $40, $50 million, we would receive our 30% of that, or wherever we are with the preferred up until that point. So This doesn't sit on our balance sheet, so you won't see that on our balance sheet. And so it's something that is unique, and we had no cost basis in that, so we can't put it on the balance sheet. So then another vertical that we are focused on is we're focused on creating value for issuers of publicly traded stock. So we've created a platform that that takes a look at who are the people that are buying shares in public companies. Who are they? How much stock do they own? How much are they selling? Who are the institutional holders? Who are the retail holders? What's their change week to week, day to day? And then how can we provide tools that market out to those shareholders? So we use our advertising technology to then reach out to those shareholders to inform them about public information that can be put out in the marketplace for those issuers. And this platform has grown significantly over the last year. We've had a lot of success with it. It's a SaaS platform, so the issuers sign up and they are get a year access to the platform, and they can log in at any given time. It manages all their warrants, it manages their options, it manages a variety of other things that publicly traded companies need to contend with. So we are very focused around signing up companies onto this platform, and we're having a lot of success here. And it's giving us a very unique data set that other people don't have, and it's providing us an opportunity that to work with companies and really helping them understand who their shareholders are, what they're doing, and giving them a unique perspective on how to market to those people. Instead of just putting a press release out into the marketplace, we're really helping them target those investors and people that look like those investors. So I think we have a substantial amount of value that's created in this platform. The last numbers that we gave out around this was we had around 55 companies that are signed up for the platform. So we're about to file again here soon. So we'll just stick with the old numbers, but that is something that we're focused on, and signing up more people onto that SaaS platform. And it's a little bit of a different model than what we've had in the past, where in the past we've been very marketing oriented and campaign driven, whereas now we're very focused around not the campaign itself, but the SaaS revenue. So we have three ways that we think that we have revenue being driven into the system. We have different verticals that we're focused on selling data with, and we're using Big Token to drive the sale of those data components. So we have, we're hitting up the shopper marketing, we're hitting up luxury, we're hitting up automotive, and we're selling into those with our Big Token data. And then we're generating revenue off of our SRAX IR platform. We think that there's a really big market opportunity inside of the, consumer data space. It's a $189 billion market. We have a platform that already has 16 million plus users on it, registered users on it, which is a something to be said when we haven't spent barely any money on marketing. I think we spent around $100,000 to acquire all of those users. We have a good recurring revenue stream that's built into both our issuer product and into Big Token. So revenue's consistently created. We have an off-balance sheet asset that is, could be today is worth approximately $11.5 million, a little bit less than $11.5 million that doesn't sit on the balance sheet. And then we think that the potential for Big Token is a really big market and could see a $400 million opportunity in revenue from that piece of the business. And our internal regular ad sales had continued to grow inside our verticals. So one thing that we've done this year is we've really focused around consolidating the sales team into two distinct areas. One is focused on the big token product and different verticals that big token can serve, and the other is all around our SaaS-oriented products for the issuer market. And we've successfully got those teams set up and separated, and even within the big token component, we've shifted the advertising sales and the data sales to the entire team focused around the story of big token and taking all the products that we have within big token to the market. So research, activities, and insight-based media. So that's what we're doing with big token and with the SRAX IR product. So I would go ahead and open it up a little bit more to questions. I can see I have a few questions here. It says, could you elaborate a little more on the investor profiling platform? How granular are you able to get when it comes to retail investors? Are you able to branch out into their investment philosophy, i.e. day trader, short-term holder, long-term holder? So we can see the data that is available from for the issuer in the marketplace. So we can see both retail and the institutional investors. We can pull that data as, typically companies are pulling that data once a week, and then we're using DTC data. We're pulling in DTC data. We're identifying where certain shareholders are custodying their shares, and then we're giving the company insights into the day-to-day activity of the DTC and what's happening within DTC to identify what shareholders might be doing at a particular time, especially people that are in street name and hidden behind, places where you can't see who those investors are. So we're helping break that down and identify that audience and helping the issuer understand who they are. Now, there's certain people you just can't get to and you can't identify, but what you can do is you can understand where they're keeping their stock, so you can see how much they potentially have left, if they're selling, if they're buying, what their trends are in the space. Okay. The next question is, what are you burning? So the numbers are available on from the last Q. So obviously it's, I don't want to jump into each of the numbers there because we're just about to file here. So instead of jumping into the numbers, and we've avoided that in this presentation because of the fact that we're shortly filing, I'll just stay away from that question for now. And then let me go ahead and refresh and see if there's any additional questions. There is not any additional questions at this point. So if anybody, I'll go ahead and try one more time, see if there's any more. All right, well, we end right on time, so I appreciate you taking the time to come to the SRAX presentation. If there's any additional information that you need or would like, my email is on the slide right now. You can email me directly or give me a call, and happy to chat with you or answer any questions that you may have. Thank you very much.
Thank you. This concludes today's webcast. You may disconnect at this time. Thank you for your participation.